Hi. I've been feeling a little bit discouraged lately, just about coronavirus, among other things. And yesterday I was just worn out and I didn't make a video, and my mom noticed because she loves to watch my videos and she likes to see my face. Hi, Mom. So I decided I really wanted to make a video today because no matter how we're feeling, God is constant. Our emotions are all over the place, right? Like one day we're on top of the world, next day we're down in the dumps. We get anxious, we get afraid, we get grumpy. And other times we're joyful and excited and we feel empowered and mighty for the Lord. Lately I've been feeling a little tired and weak and sad. So what better thing to do than to read the Psalms, because that is how the psalmists felt as well, right? David and the other people who wrote Psalms all described their emotions and how they could feel in the depths of despair or angry or whatever, but yet I will praise God. They always said that, and they always brought light to God's goodness. So I decided to light a candle just to kind of like cheer myself up. Look at that. And it also, this song came to mind. I used to teach preschool, and we always used to sing this little light of mine, and for some reason while I was getting ready for my video, I thought of it, so I'm going to sing it for you. Just a little part of it, okay? Because I want to encourage all of us to try to be a light for the Lord, or be a light in someone else's life. This is a pretty discouraging time in a lot of ways, and we need each other. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This is a light. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay, well that cheered me up because it made me feel a little bit silly, but hopefully it cheered you up too. Okay, I'm going to be reading Psalm 66. And I've been reading this the last couple of days because I just kind of read through the Psalms where I'm at in my video series. And what I notice about this psalm every time I read it is when it talks about God leading his people through the Red Sea and they walked on dry land. And that is just one of the most famous stories from the Bible. And we just take so much delight and victory in that story. And what I recognized as I read this psalm a few times the last few days was the people were imprisoned and they were running for their lives when God did that for them. And the reason it was such a deliverance and such a victory was because they were in a rough spot for a long time. They were slaves in Egypt, and God delivered them. And it just encouraged me that we will go through hard times and we will have long periods of waiting where we don't necessarily see God's deliverance, but then he can come through in a mighty way. And the reason it's so beautiful and powerful and the reason it's such a miracle is because we've been suffering and we need his deliverance. So if you're in a rough spot right now, just know that God has the victory and he will never leave you, and he may deliver you in a mighty, miraculous way. So I'm going to read Psalm 66. Shout with joy to God, all the earth. Sing the glory of his name. Make his praise glorious. Say to God, how awesome are your deeds. So great is your power that your enemies cringe before you. All the earth bows down to you. They sing praise to you. They sing praise to your name. Come and see what God has done, how awesome his works in man's behalf. He turned the sea into dry land. They passed through the waters on foot. Come, let us rejoice in him. He rules forever by his power. His eyes watch the nations. Let not the rebellious rise up against him. Praise our God, O peoples. Let the sound of his praise be heard. He has preserved our lives and kept our feet from slipping. For you, O God, tested us. You refined us like silver. You brought us into prison and laid burdens on our backs. You let men ride over our heads. We went through fire and water, but you brought us to a place of abundance. I will come to your temple with burnt offerings and fulfill my vows to you, vows my lips promised and my mouth spoke when I was in trouble. I will sacrifice fat animals to you and an offering of rams. I will offer bulls and goats. Come and listen, all you who fear God. Let me tell you what he has done for me. I cried out to him with my mouth. His praise was on my tongue. If I had cherished sin in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But God has surely listened and heard my voice in prayer. Praise be to God, who has not rejected my prayer or withheld his love from me.